Netflix do indeed just keep putting out stuff. They are persistent, to be fair. If there's one thing Netflix do, it's that they're non-stop. They will try absolutely everything. They take the approach, I feel, when it comes to making content and their production line. They take the approach of Jackson Pollock. Just chuck everything at the wall and see what sticks. See what is actually going to be good. And most of it, to be fair, is questionable and subpar. But there are occasionally films or TV series which really do stand out. The Old Guard was not one of those. Hey, NarendraTheComic here. Right now we are indeed gonna be having a bit of a look at Netflix's new film. Well, I suppose it's old now. It came out about a month ago, called The Old Guard. Something which I was kind of interested in, but not super interested in. It's something which sort of flew by the wayside. I said, I'll check it out eventually. Wasn't super into it, but said it might be good. It could be good. I liked some of the cast. I mean, there were other things good about the film besides some of the casting, but I would say overall, it was a very by-the-by type of movie. Nothing too engaging, nothing too interesting, nothing too different. Recently, I just watched Midnight in Paris for the first time. There are aspects of it which really pulled you in, and considering it was only like 90 minutes long or less, you know, it was a very fun, engaging film. Very different movies here, but those are just the two most recent movies I've watched over the past week. And one of them was significantly better than the other. And Midnight in Paris was the one that was indeed superior. But just quickly here, before I go off on another tangent, let's just bring it back to the Old Guard, the film we're actually talking about here. And while the story was pretty see-through, the sort of soft magic they put forward in the story was very, very paper-thin. The story was okay. It was okay. The storytelling was fine. The script was as okay of an action film as it can be. The action itself, though, was actually pretty good. To be fair, I feel that Charlize Theron is genuinely trying to become like a Keanu Reeves type of figure, you know, but just not as good, because no one can do that type of John Wick like Keanu Reeves does John Wick. And I think some of the best moments of this film were indeed the fight scenes. Occasionally they went a bit long. At some points they did pace them up a little bit too much. They were flying by a bit too quickly, and I think it sort of detracted from some of the good stuff they were doing stunt-wise. Most of the main characters were actually pretty likable. I think I actually enjoyed all of them apart from one. And that's where we get to the problem with this, along with the script being a bit nonsense. But the actual center point of this film wasn't Charlize Theron. It was this new character that was put into the film and put into the story. And she was just not good. I can't even remember her name. I can remember all the other names of everyone else. I can't remember her name. What was her name? I watched it yesterday, so give me some leeway here, but I should remember her name. She was essentially the main character. What was it? What was it? I don't know. I don't know. That's nuts. That's nuts to me. I should know that character's name. I should. She's the main character. But she was uninspired. There was nothing there pulling you to watch her when she was on screen. And when I did get up to go get a glass of water, it was when she was basically on screen alone. Why? Why does that happen? Everyone else was really engaging in this film when they had their little moments. There was someone who had a monologue as well during this film for about a minute and a half. And the guy delivered. It was actually very, very good. But this main character who gets her powers in this film was trash. She was trash. And I'm not sure if it was the character. I don't know if it was the actress. I don't know. But it wasn't good. Even Chiwetel Ejiofor was in this. And he killed it. He always kills it, to be fair. He always does a really good job in most of the shit he's in. But I didn't even know he was in the film. I didn't know he was in the film. I saw him and I'm like, Chiwetel, what's going on here? The bad guys were a bit shady and shit. Like, it's just true. But the main character shouldn't be like that. And then they had the cardboard cutout villain, ooh, I'm an evil scientist, you know. I mean, you can't have it all. You can't. And this film didn't have a good villain, you know. I think the villain was more so themselves rather than the actual villain. It was like your inner demons and your inner turmoil was the problem. So I really do think that that was probably the biggest problem with the film. Out of everything, a see-through story, You know, the plot lines not really meshing well all the time, the weak villain. But the biggest problem was most definitely an uninspired main character, a unfulfilled protagonist, which for some reason didn't work. It should have worked. It really should have worked. But it didn't. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil the film. I never do. Whenever I do these types of reviews, they're never for the spoilery aspect of them. So I'm not exactly going to tell you what's going on in the story. What I will say is the powers that they have are fine. They're explained to some degree. I do think there was a giant plot hole in this story come the end of the film. They left it so you could have a second movie. They probably will do a second film. But there was a very big plot hole with the idea of these people being able to live forever. They die, but they just come back to life and they heal. It's not like they are super powerful or super strong or super fast. They are literally just unkillable. That's kind of their power. So it's not that they are the most intelligent or the most brilliant. It's just they can't be killed. So they've acquired skills over the years like fighting and hacking and all these things, which allow them to do other things in the story. But the actual power set is just not being able to be killed. So they're sort of like zombies if you think about it. They sort of are like zombies in some ways. They don't come back like the undead. They come back alive again. And then after a certain amount of kills or time or lifespan, everyone has a predetermined life is basically the message of the movie. Which is fine. Not a problem with that. But I just think it was a bit crass in the way they told the story when it could have been something much subtler and much better put across. But to be fair, it's not the worst film I've seen ever. It's not the worst Netflix film I've seen ever. Is it better than Six Underground? That's kind of my barrier for for Netflix movies. Is it better than Six Underground? Maybe. But I would prefer to watch Six Underground than watch this film again. It might be better than Six Underground. But Six Underground was more fun, even though it was absolute shit. It was more fun. Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. Slyly, alright, at me if you want. Good film. Actually, a good movie. Also, see-through. Is this just a thing with Netflix shit? It's see-through. Yes, but very, very good film. Fun type of murder mystery film. You don't really get those very often nowadays. So when that popped up last year, we were all like, damn, this isn't bad, you know? Adam Sandler putting out a funny movie that's actually funny. Haven't had that since, like, You Don't Mess With the Zohan. That shit was the shit. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Charlize Theron will come after you. She will, as her character in The Old God with that, like, weird axe, double axe thing. It looked very intimidating. I wouldn't want to get attacked by that. You don't want that. You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. And I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Yep, been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content because we're hashtag never not here. We are indeed never not here, guys. There's always a piece of content that gets put up and we all know that it is nonsense, and if you don't know nonsense, well, I do bring nonsense every day. Or I bring the bakwas, and if you don't know what bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi. And that's just how we go. That's how we roll. That's what we do. That's how we do it here. Always bring in the bakwas. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.